Well, when you're young, you have this illusion about yourself that you have enough experience and knowledge under your belt to make the right decisions in life. You want to drop out of school because you've come to conclude that school sucks, or you want to fall in love with this particular person because, well, your feelings can't be wrong. And time passes, and you realize, you're like 45, you haven't been in school for a long time, and you work at In-N-Out, you have a companion, you have children, and 20, 30 bucks an hour is not going to do it for you. A life that is continuously becoming more and more expensive. And with a good amount of awareness, you realize not only do you hate the person you've become, you also hate most of the decisions you made in your life that has brought you to this particular point. So self-hatred, for the most part, is something that happens after you come to realize certain things about yourself, things that you don't really like. Initially, you like them. I mean, look, all of us in this class, we fall in love on a daily basis with different things. And we spend time, we invest energy, there is hope, there are fantasies in it. And we give it a good amount of time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And then something about us changes, or something about the other person changes, that rattles a little bit, that whatever security existed in the relationship all of a sudden fades or dims or just completely gone. And then you sit back and you say, did I really do this to myself? Like 3 years spending with this guy or this gal, not going to school, whatever the case may be. And then once you realize the things that you have lost because of certain ridiculous childish assumptions you had, all of a sudden self-hatred grows. It's kind of like an alcoholic. There is no self-hatred. I mean, all of us have hints of it, but the one that erupts and just overtakes your life, that's a different story. It's okay if your wife leaves you, you're a good-looking guy, you can hang out with other women. It's okay if your kids leave you, but you're still young as a father or as a man or a woman, you can just hang out with other people. It's okay if you lose your job, you have some experience, you can always interview for different positions. There comes a point where, after having been a drunk perhaps for about 20 years, and at a certain point you look at yourself in the mirror and you say you don't really like anything about yourself. Your looks no longer matter, money no longer matters. And you're at a point where you're desperately seeking relationships that are meaningful, healthy, that have depth, that have history, a set of narratives that you can look back and enjoy. And you realize you don't have any of that. And you don't have any of it because you just prefer drinking to everything else under the sun. And you sit there and you mourn the loss of every opportunity and every gift that life had given you, and you just trashed it. And that self-hatred will, if it's strong enough and intense enough, of course it does create a good amount of depression, but hopefully that depression and hatred will drive you towards an AA center. And you kind of just stand up and you say, I'm Amir Sabzavari, I am a drunk and I hate myself, I'm this and that. And hopefully you'll have a good support system so that this self-hatred, which can kind of be paralyzing initially, can be a source of insight and creativity later on. It's a good baptism. Self-hatred is really, really good. I have students in my classes all the time, every semester for the past 30 years or so. And the first thing they say, I love myself, and like they're 18. Their head is filled with concrete, they come from, dicey backgrounds, they're just kids. You have no right to love yourself unless you're just stupid. Or maybe when you're young, you have no choice but to be stupid and make a lot of stupid decisions and move on with life. And then at a certain point, life just puts a leash around your neck and just forces you to stop. And then you begin to self-reflect and you realize, what a scumbag you've become. And once you realize, you're a creep, then self-hatred comes. And then you say, maybe I should go back to school. And then you do. So yeah, self-hatred is really, really good. One of the things that happens to you when you work with a teacher of sorts is that we have a tendency of, again, appreciating anything that's beautiful. Whether they have a beautiful body, a beautiful intellect, or maybe there's just something about their spirit or their energy, their emotions that you're attracted to. One of the problems of hanging out with anyone that is attractive is that they make you feel ugly. And so you envy what they have. And that envy is really good because now you go to the library and you begin to read a lot of books because you want to be like them. So you read a lot of books, you have a lot of information, but you can't express the ideas the way they do. And so you begin to hate yourself some more. So the point I'm trying to make, being around certain people who can kind of inspire self-hatred, it can be very, 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 very good. But being around someone like Snoop Dogg, we can only smoke like one, but he smokes like 50. That's just a shitty envy to have.